you know, except for when I went to South Africa. That was a little different. But everywhere I went, it was always the crew and the WWE 20 or 30 wrestlers that were there, so you felt a lot better.
Right.
You know, I try not to peel off on my own too often. You know, especially when we're walking someone else's backyard that they've been promoting wrestling for 30, 40, 50 years, and all of a sudden you come here.
And they have the same sort of unspoken rules out there?
And we broke them all.
Wow. Yeah, I never even considered that as a possibility, that there would be these territories.
Well, that's one of the main things that made Vince Jr. so famous and changed the game forever. Vince Sr. always wanted him. Wasn't it like a promise, a handshake deal? You can have the company, son, but just please don't ever mess with the other territories. And Vince is like
Vince
okay.
It's like
Bye,
Vince
Dad.
told me, he goes, if my dad knew what we were getting ready to do, he'd have never sold me the territory.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm like, okay. He goes, you up for it? I said, yeah. Let's do it.
Was the dad alive when this was going down?
For a while.
Yeah?
For a while, I had pancreatic cancer.
Ooh.
And he was alive. Like when I went back, oh, God, it's such a crazy story. I hate to get into all this stuff, but it's all true. Like when I went back, I had just been in Minnesota, spent 3 years. Hulk Hogan had really, that Hulkamania thing had started there. And I was on fire there. I mean, really on fire. And so now when I go back to New York, Vince had flown to my house. We talked about doing a deal. So I said on a certain day I'm coming back to New York. I did 2-3 weeks of TV. Then when I was supposed to beat the Iron Sheik for the belt that night, Vince Sr. was there. And he always had these half glasses that he'd look over, and he's always clicking quarters together when he talked to you. You know, and I'm standing there with Vince Sr. and Vince Jr. and myself, and Bob Backlund's standing there, who was the champion that the Iron Sheik beat for the belt. Now the Iron Sheik's got the belt, and Backlund thought he was getting the belt back. And Backlund was my guy. I used to go to Japan with him and train with him in Japan when nobody else would run steps with him and everything in the hotel. All of a sudden I'm sitting there and Vince is clicking the quarters together, and he goes, well, I'm really thinking, you know, that I really don't think we should do this tonight. We should put this off for about 6 months. And Bob Backlund pops up and goes, yeah, I think a real athlete should be the champion. So I'm looking over at him, right? And like, what the hell's going on here, you know? And then out of nowhere, you know, I said, well, guys, I just had a huge bridge I just burnt down in Minnesota. I built a big bridge there. I'll tell you what, I'll wrestle the Iron Sheik and I'll put his ass over because that's business, but I'm leaving. I'm going back and rebuild that bridge. Thank you guys very much for bringing me up there. I went back to the dressing room. It was about 10 or 15 minutes later, Vince Jr. came in. He says, oh, everything's okay. I talked to my dad. Everything's settled down. I said, are you sure? Now what I don't know on the backside is when I leave Minnesota, the promoter, Vern Gagne, who worked there, the Iron Sheik, Cosgrove Lazario, whatever his real name was, he was a real bodyguard for the Shah of Iran.
Yeah.
He was the real deal, bro. He's got all these huge dents and holes in his head where they used to beat him and stuff when he was over there. Little did I know, Kaz, the Iron Sheik, broke in with Vern Gagne in Minnesota, right? So now I come to New York, and I'm going to win the belt, and Vern Gagne was pissed at me for leaving, so he calls Kaz up and says, I'll give you $100,000 to break Hogan's leg. Right? And now this guy's an NCAA champion, the real deal. I'm not, you know? So Vern offers him $100,000 to break my leg.
Oh, my God.
And we go in the ring, and I mean, I'm giving him my arm and take my head and take my leg. I mean, you know, I think we're working, you know, not shooting. And he told us afterwards, oh, you know, Dad, my accent's terrible. The Iron Sheik goes, but, you know, Vern called me and wanted to give me $100,000 to break your leg, but I'm a businessman. I just hope we can keep working together. I said, brother, don't worry, we're going to work together all the time.
Wow.
You know?
Wow.
But that, I don't know if you knew about that, if you're a wrestling fan. But,
I didn't know that he was offered $100,000 to break your leg.
$100,000 to
Smart
break my
move
leg.
for him to not take it. You get $100,000 there, and then you guys never work together, and he's never anywhere near what he became. One of the ultimate heels of all time.
Yeah, but these are all, everybody knows these stories, man. These are
Also, he's an athlete. He's not a hitman.
Right.
You know, like, it's kind of fucked up. Like,
No, it's a different business. You'd be surprised. Those rules don't apply all the time.
Yeah, I'm sure. It's just, I love the Iron Sheik.
Oh, he's great.
Yeah. I hung out with him one time in that Toronto pot place, you know, where they have that marijuana show where the entire room is filled with weed smoke.
Yeah.
and the Iron Sheik got on stage with me.
Yeah, he's the man. I roasted him 3 times: L.A., Toronto, and Hamilton, Canada. I told him he's such a nice guy, he'd give you the shirt off his head.
Yeah, that's crazy.
He was a freak athlete too, man. You ever see him do the clubs? Yeah.
None of us could do it. We all tried. None of us could do it. I couldn't do it. Andre couldn't do it. None of us could do it.
Andre couldn't do it?
None of us could do it, bro. Those clubs are like 85 pounds apiece.
Are they really?
Yeah, they were heavy as shit. He just manhandled them.
Yeah, that's really hard to do those things.
Yeah.
I do them with these little 25-pound ones, and it's hard to do. And the longer the handle, more difficult it is to maneuver.
You put them behind your head and do them like Cos
yeah,
did?
shield casting. You do this.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, and then I do these. I do a bunch of different ones with it, but it's a very weird kind of strength. And when you watch him do it, it's like he must have been spectacularly strong. He was a legit wrestler. Amateur wrestler.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Pan Am champion. I can't. He had a bunch of other accolades.
Yeah, there's. Think about how many like real legit. Kurt Angle's a great example. Kurt Angle wins the gold medal with a broken neck. Won a gold medal in the Olympics with a broken neck.
Dude, I'm in the ring with Kurt Angle, and we go to square off. He goes down to an amateur stance. His eyes roll back in his head like a shark. I'm looking at him going, brother. And so when I first started.
Joe Rogan or Joe Rogan, whatever. One of the greatest, one of the best in the world, UFC and MMN. Everybody knows they are toughest individual wrestler and fighter. But I want to ask Joe Rogan, what is the toughest sport in the Olympic? Freestyle, Greco-Roman, or UFC?
Oh, yeah.
The toughest sport in the Olympics is freestyle wrestling, sir. Absolutely. I have a lot of respect for Mr. Joe because he knows what he's talking and he knows how to walk in. Anyway, I want to say freestyle, Greco-Roman, and professional UFC, professional WWE or WWF, number 1 in the world. But for me, actually tonight too, I met Joe Rogan, and one of the toughest, one of the bad men if he wants to, and I get shocked tonight. So I saw him, he do comedian, and he talks. I have a lot of respect for his brain. The Iron Sheik, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the Iron Sheik. Thank you, Joe. Everybody knows I met the Hulk Hogan to be Hulkamania. Without Iron Sheik, no Hulkamania. I met him to be number 1. Without Iron Sheik, he was a bouncer and announcer. Give me a hand, yeah! I love you guys. And everybody have a good time night tonight, especially I met Joe for the first time, and I have a lot of respect for his comedian and professional, toughest, roughest individual, UFC, MMA, freestyle, Greco-Roman, Dan Gable, and Ben Peterson, and Iron Sheik. God bless you guys and have a good time.